Let's go.
Go! Go, 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 go! In a perfect world, none of this ever would have happened. Androids were a part of our everyday life.
Hot chocolate, sweet.
And then one night, everything changed.
Yes, y'all, it is your favorite nerdy girl here, Nerdy Girl Reviews, and we are back with another review for Mother Android, now streaming on Hulu. If you'd like to watch the full commentary, keep me locked here on YouTube. If you're watching this on Instagram, click the link in bio. If you're watching this on IG Stories, click the link. It will link you back to my YouTube page. And if you'd like to see my other reviews, catch me on sofritoforyoursoul.com. Stay tuned, y'all. Another title could have been just like When Androids Attack. Ooh, the beeping lights. Sorry if you're sensitive to strobing lights. You know, click back when I'm done, which I'm done. So yes, today, like I've mentioned in my other reviews that you can catch here on YouTube, it is Christmas Day. And we are reviewing a number of Christmas films and Christmas-oriented films. The reason for my getup, although I'm sure you're questioning why you dress like this when it's supposed to be like a sci-fi drama. Well, the movie, when it kicks off, when it initially starts, our main characters are in the middle of a Christmas party, and so we have a bevy of young talent here. Chloe Grace Moretz, again, forgive me if I'm butchering your last name, who plays Georgia. She's our main protagonist. Her love interests and baby father. And again, this is full of spoilers. This came out maybe 2 weeks ago, so if you don't want to hear spoilers, don't watch that movie and then come back. Her love interest, her baby father, is Algie Smith is the actor's name, and his character name is Sam. Raul Castillo, who plays Arthur. These are like more or less our major characters. Everyone else, I'm not saying that they were filler, but they're not long-lasting characters for us to review right now. So let's do a quick synopsis. And so I'm dressed like how it would be like the day before the world semi-ends. The apocalypse hits in this near future or however they're orchestrating it in this film. So I figure, hey, I'd wear my little antlers and my little muffs, again, from the Dollar Tree. What can't you do? I'm the prop queen and I love the Dollar Tree. So props to the Dollar Tree, and see how cute it comes together anyway. A quick synopsis. Mother Android is a 2021 American post-apocalyptic science fiction thriller film written, directed by Mattison Tomlin for his featured directorial debut. So this is his first directorial debut. It stars Chloe, Algie, Raul Castillo. The film was released on December 17th. 2021 by Hulu. In a post-apocalyptic world where androids, once commonly used as workers and servants, have become, I believe they're on the uprise, have risen against the human race, a pregnant woman and her partner set out on a harrowing journey to a human enclave in Boston where she can safely give birth. I want to say too, regardless of how other reviewers have seen this film, I don't want to critique it harshly. Like a lot of these films, they were filmed during COVID, at the highest peak of COVID, and when we were going through our own apocalyptic reality. It wasn't even virtual or fantasy or fiction, and we're still very much in the middle of it, but praying for better days. But they were one of the first few production houses that were up and running when when you didn't know what was going to happen to the acting community. So they were one of the first production teams that incorporated all the new protocols for the face masks, the face shields, constant COVID testing. I think that's also why the cast isn't so big, because they couldn't have that many people on set. But I think it stayed true to the story. If Mattson Tomlin sounds familiar, he's a screenwriter, producer, and director. He also was the screenplay writer for Little Fish, which I've already reviewed on this channel, and I'll link down below if you haven't seen that review for Little Fish, and Raul Castillo is also in it. I want to say that Raul has a pivotal role in this film, and not for nothing, I give him much props. I feel like he's been doing a number of these apocalyptic sci-fi films, Little Fish for instance, and Army of the Dead, Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead, which I also reviewed and I can link down below, which was a phenomenal film. But yeah, I don't know if he has purposely done this, but these projects have spelled basically, you know, the near end, if not the end of the human race, which is kind of scary. But yeah, we have these in this story. We have a bunch of androids that go rogue and just totally just go. I don't want to say it, but just, you know, yeah, go rogue and start just decombusting, and there's a glitch. And I believe that as the story evolves, we recognize that there was some kind of like revolt amongst the androids, and they're like, you know, why are we playing servants to these humans? And I think they decide amongst themselves, like, well, we can rule, because for heaven's sake, we're faster, we're better generated than any human. Why are we taking orders? So they essentially take over. And so our main protagonist of Chloe and her love interest of Algie, Sam, Georgia and Sam, the way the movie starts out, they're still very much perplexed if they're gonna even. So we discovered they're a young coupling. We don't necessarily know they are into each other, but she discovers that she's pregnant, and then soon after this revolt amongst the androids, they're kind of pushed together, and just out of pure survival, they escape into the woods where they can be off the grid. But she's slowly growing, you know, her pregnant belly is growing. And so we see another testament of how pregnant women, or women in general, endure so much. Not that men don't, but there's a lot of pressure when you are growing another human being inside you and you're in the middle of all this mess. So we see that they do stumble upon some kind of army-based camp, where they thought for a brief second that they have found some kind of safety net in a way, so she could give birth there. And somehow a pamphlet gets to her where they've let them know that if they are able to reach Boston, she would be able to not only maybe give birth there, but also both her and child and family can travel to, I believe what they say is Korea, and take their child with them. Now that in itself, it was just like, it kind of didn't make sense, because I'm like, well, if we are to believe that this is a global thing, androids, and in our phones, for heaven's sake, androids are everywhere, so that technology doesn't exist there, like, so that those are the little small things that, you know, we have to keep in mind. But that kind of didn't make sense for the story. But nonetheless, we see that they're trying to survive in this camp, but her boyfriend is egged on by an army soldier. They get into a fight. He really physically harmed this soldier, and so they're just booted out. They're thrown to the wolves. You know, they have to kind of go through what they consider, or they call in the movie, no man's land. And so in order to cross over to Boston, and that area is a no-no, because that's where mostly the androids go and hunt whomever they can find who is of human race. So somehow they stumble upon this abandoned home. And they find a dirt bike, where they're able to kind of maybe try their luck and get on the bike so they can make it to Boston. They're caught. And poor Sam, he's also caught by the androids and taken away. And Georgia is left to her own devices, and homegirl is pregnant and she can barely even walk. So she's close to even giving birth. In fact, I think when she was on the camp, one of the doctors has said that she was long overdue. And this is where we meet our Arthur character, who seems, a little on the kooky side, a little deranged. He's been out in the woods for far too long. Even his glasses are all cracked. And he's like, kind of like, what it reminded me of? It reminded me of, it was a little reminiscent of M. Night Shyamalan's Signs with Joaquin Phoenix, when they are also, but that's an alien activity, but they come up with the whole, like, let's put, like, aluminum foil hats so that the aliens can't read brainwaves or whatever. And Mel Gibson too, he also played a kooky character like that. That was a heavy conspiracy theorist that, back then when that movie came out, I think it was called Conspiracy Theory, would have been seen as just a kooky film. But today you kind of see what we're living in now. That's kind of like, some people take it to heart, and that's a scary reality. So, not that Raul is that. He's in the woods. Arthur is in the woods for survival, and has created this, like, camouflage coat that has these, like, built-in sensors that won't read to a robot, an android. So you can essentially walk in and out of anywhere and they won't sense you. He rescues Chloe, Georgia, and he brings her back to his camp. To the credit to either the actor or the director, you do see essential items. We can see that it's not preached to us that he's a Latino character, but there